Want to know what's going on in Hollywood? Coming up next, Tinseltown Talkies.
Welcome to Tinseltown Talkies. Oh my gosh, this week is just flying. It's Thursday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rasha, and that is Pimo's head. If you see it, why are you pointing towards your head? Oh, you didn't wear a hat on. How did I not notice that?
I was waiting for you to say something.
Oh my gosh, did you lose the hat? What happened?
No,
Did it fly off?
No.
It wasn't washed?
I just want to surprise everybody.
Definitely a surprise. Definitely a
I was
surprise.
literally waiting for you to say something. I'm surprised it took you so long.
You know, yeah, the drugs are just kicking in.
Oh, what did you take today?
I'm just kidding.
Well, she's always got to take drugs to deal with me every day. So.
That's true. That's a whole nother story.
I don't know how you put it with me this long.
I don't know either. I barely got through it. Well, if many of you are tuning in, this is our last episode.
Oh.
So we hope you enjoyed Tinseltown Talkies. But don't worry.
We may try to come back at some point, but who knows?
Yes. But you can follow me on Rasha Goel at Facebook. I'll have some more updates and some more stuff starting up on YouTube.
I saw a cute little throwback picture today.
You did?
Yeah, of you.
Oh, of me. Oh, with Tom Bergeron.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom and I worked together at Hollywood Squares many, many years ago when he was just starting out his hosting career.
Were you a square back then?
I wasn't.
No.
I was squared
You
in
were
the back.
squared,
I was an assistant to the producers at that time. So,
Okay.
I got to take a picture in the square, like, when the set wasn't.
I'm going to go Ralph Lauren style. You know who that is?
What?
Ralph Lauren.
Mm-mm.
Easy enough for the Clipper.
Rowler, can you pronounce his last name first?
Lawler. He holds his mic like this during Clipper telecast.
Oh, really?
I should just do the rest of the show like this.
Okay, whatever.
And he looks just like the headset. Mic
Whatever
in his
makes your
hand.
bald little head happy.
Okay. Actually, I could do this today. For the first time I'll
That's
show.
right.
I've never done this.
You can
This
feel a
feels weird.
headset.
This feels weird. I'm usually doing the getaway. Today we're doing it this way.
Crazy.
Yes, it's not Pharrell Williams, but it blew.
Well, we have some fun guests on today.
Yes, we do.
We've got
Looking
one
forward
of
to it.
our,
Two guests today.
Two guests. Yeah, we have an actor from Hollywood.
And we have a writer.
And we have a writer,
I can
author,
relate to
producer.
writers.
So
Yes.
some fun stuff happening.
We're going to have some fun. So stay tuned for our two guests who are coming in the middle segment of our show.
Yes,
The
but
meat
we're
of the
not
show.
starting off with, well, I don't know. It's not fun news for us, but maybe fun news for this couple.
Well, they seem to have a fun life.
Oh, it's interesting. It's been all over the news this week. The split of Gwyneth. I just created a new name. Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin. They're splitting after 10 years and 2 kids.
Wow. I'm actually, this is not on our telecast up there, but I'm looking at a photo of Gwyneth Paltrow at a Dodger game with her kids with another guy.
That's not very cool,
And the pictures are of them making out in front of her kids.
Okay, that's awkward.
Yeah, right. But apparently they had an open relationship.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading too. I don't know, but apparently that's been a thing for them. So.
The headline of this article here it's from the New York Daily News. Which
Okay.
I think you may have read.
Yes.
I don't know if this is the article you read.
Yes. I
Okay.
did.
So it says Gwyneth Paltrow, Chris Martin had open relationship for quite some time, insiders say, as photos of actors kissing another man months before the split news emerged.
Wow. So you know what's crazy about this whole thing
Uh-huh.
is that all the fingers are pointing at her. Like if you even read this article,
Uh-huh.
it's all about Gwyneth. And in fact, it says Chris Martin's been sad about the whole thing.
Yeah.
But then I don't know. He was seen with somebody else too.
The
I
Paltrow
think.
affair.
So who knows?
Yeah.
It's just a sad story. I mean, who even knows what the real juice is here?
All I can say, it's quite the opposite of her character on Iron Man, who's like this nice, uptight, pretty woman.
Yeah.
And she's now a philanderer.
Dedicated
openly.
to hubby.
Yeah, and she's an open philanderer here, right?
Right?
But hey,
They made such a cute couple.
I guess. I mean, yeah, I could see. I guess they go together.
I mean, it's Hollywood. What do you expect, though? Please.
I mean, heck, when what's their name? Rhea Perlman and Dan DeVito split up. That just shows no Hollywood
Yeah, that
relationship
means
for me.
nobody survives.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah. I guess it is what it is.
All right.
Um,
Well, good luck to both of them.
There was this article I showed you before we started the show, also on Gwyneth. I guess they both sang at their kids' school before the split. I guess this was within a few weeks, but yeah, it's an
What song
interesting
did they
thing.
sing? Did they mention that?
I'm trying to find it. It doesn't. Well, maybe it does say. It's got to find it. Cruising.
That is just such a random piece of news. Can I just add that?
Yeah.
Like, that is just such a random story. Okay, so they
Yeah.
sang in their kids' classroom or sang to them or whatever.
Yeah, they sang "Cruising" from a Gwyneth film.
Oh,
It was the film Duets in 2000.
all right.
The song is extremely romantic. This article says.
So let's sing it before we part our ways.
No, you could sing it. I'm a horrible singer. I'll break every.
Not us,
No.
them. I'm like, okay,
Oh,
so
them.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna split up and let this relationship come out. But let's sing a song. How great and romantic we are.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah, some people are just strange.
Well, that's their life. Well, speaking of, so they're splitting, but there's another couple that's actually celebrating. Kim Ye,
Kim Ye. This is an interesting picture if we get it up there soon.
Kanye West, and Kim Kardashian on the cover of Vogue. This came out earlier this week, and it has just sparked controversy. Now, the funny thing is you see so many different tweets and pictures of people putting their pictures in, but if you have some of the tweets, actually, I'd love to bring it up, like Sarah Gellar, right?
Yeah, well, I guess I'm canceling my Vogue subscription. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay, English,
Well,
please.
I guess I'm canceling my Vogue subscription.
Yeah. There were some other
Okay, but
stars, too.
maybe I'm oblivious. What's the controversy in that? It's just a guy holding his woman.
No, here's the controversy. I
Mhm.
think because they have such a different reputation. So
Mhm.
here's the thing. You've got people arguing that, well, they are the most noteworthy couple and most talked about couple, but what Vogue stands for is this very elegant, classy, sophisticated magazine.
And
So it's almost insulting to this couple because people are saying that, oh, well, they don't really fit the bill. So that's why people are
guess that
upset. And so,
makes sense.
but you know what? At the end of the day, geez, just even people tweeting about the controversy now makes them another
these hashtags
candidate of
yeah,
the
these
most talked couple. It's crazy.
that's what the hashtag is, right? Hashtag world's most talked about couple.
Yeah.
And
There's a hashtag.
hashtag most buzzworthy magazine cover. These are hashtags, right? I don't know. I mean,
There was some other tweets. Read us one or two more other tweets.
okay. So we
Some
read
celebs.
Miss Geller's. This is from Supernatural. Jared Padalecki.
Okay.
Now that I'm a Vogue reader, but really, Kim Kardashian, I thought it was supposed to be a magazine about class and style. Going to what you were saying.
See?
Yeah. Seth Rogen and James Franco apparently poked fun at the cover shot, but
Oh, and they actually posed. There was a picture going around with both of
I
them.
wish I could find
Or
that
somebody
one.
else created that. I think somebody else created that.
Yeah.
That
Oh
was-
wait, there it is. Wow.
Thank you, JR, man, for
Wow,
getting these
that's
pictures
awesome.
up for us.
That
Thanks
is
so
awesome.
much.
I want to actually.
Rock.
I'd love to hear them comment on that photo.
I know, wouldn't that be great?
I mean, Seth Rogen would just go buck wild. I would love to hear just what he has to say alone. I mean, that'd be hilarious.
And then it's hilarious because if you actually scroll down on this picture,
Uh-huh.
you've got James Franco head there, but then you go down and the
It's
hands are
Kanye's
black.
hand. Well, I guess he's black for a day. He might be happy about
So,
that.
anyways, that's your
Here's what the Vogue editor in chief wrote about this.
Tell us.
I think we can all agree on the fact that the role is currently being played by Kim and Kanye to a T. What role are they talking about?
That. Oh, I didn't read that. Thanks. I have no
There's
idea.
barely a strand of modern media that the Kardashians and the West haven't been able to master. I guess he's given them the editor just giving them credit of like, hey, these guys
Are the
are
most
it.
talked about?
They're it.
Well, I think that they have like 3 million Twitter followers or something like that. If
Massive,
not more. They have a
yeah.
huge Twitter following.
I mean, and let's be honest, who doesn't know who they are?
Right.
mean,
Everybody across the world knows who they are.
I mean, you could go to the northeasternmost corner of Maine, and they'll know who they are.
Yeah.
You know, and so I
Baby's adorable.
haven't seen the baby.
Right there.
Oh, north, huh?
North.
Yeah.
North.
I wish it put a K.
I wonder
in
how
front of
that's
the
going to
end.
work when you go to school. Hi, I'm North. All right. I'm South. Great to meet you.
Well, and you got the West in there too. I mean, is someone gonna go? Hey, I'm Southeast.
Oh, there.
I mean,
You got to take a look at this picture. Love it.
wow. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I got black hands, and I'm James Franco.
Shout out to JR again, man, finding these
Yeah,
cool
good
pictures
job,
for us.
buddy.
Thanks.
Good job. So speaking of, well, there's not a nice smooth transition to this, but it's a fun topic to talk about.
Yes.
This is a story you had sent to me, so I'll let you introduce it.
Well, this is a story that was in the Hollywood Reporter. So Lupita Nyong'o, Oscar winner from 12 Years of Slave. It's interesting because you think somebody gets an Oscar and they're out there in the limelight and they're already set up for films, but that's not the case. I mean, actors still have to vie and go and get those roles out there. And what's been interesting is that she's, they're saying that, yeah, she will land some good roles, but it's still going to be a struggle despite her being an Oscar winner. And if you could read the exact quote, there was a quote in there about the whole darker skin versus lighter skin thing, which I just thought, wow, I just found it to be a very irrelevant quote. I didn't understand why that quote was made.
Well, one studio executive said, I don't think she has an audience, not yet. And there are so few roles for women of color, those roles are not just being written. So there's a writer's problem right there, right?
But there was a quote about the darker skin versus lighter skin.
Oh, yeah, okay. So there's a person named, this is a talent agent named Tracy Christian. So questions first, Fred, would Beyonce be who she is if she didn't look like how she does? Being lighter skinned, more people can look at her image and see themselves in her. In Lupita's case, I think she has 2.5, 3 years. If she can find a franchise like Star Wars or Born Identity, a big crossover film, or she's cast as by a significant filmmaker, that she's golden, to carve a unique path for herself. Basically saying she's too dark.
What do you make of that statement?
I think it's a sad reality. It's a very sad reality. I think this person is actually right, but not in an insulting way. I think that's just the sad state of where we are right now.
I see that in a different way. Like when he says that a lot of women can see themselves in Beyonce. No, you can't, because she's too over the top. When you look at someone like Lupita,
no, that I can agree with. Yeah. I can agree with that.
She's another woman.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I was taking this more from the perspective of it's there's just not many roles out there for that's not a bad that's being written. So that's a sad reality that needs to be changed.
Yeah. So I don't know. I wish her luck. I think she's a very talented actress, and I would love to see more films with her in it.
Well, we'll talk more about it in a few seconds, but I know we got a call coming in and a commercial to get to. So
okay, we can take the call first, or we can go commercial.
Well, we'll go to commercials first, and we'll come back and we'll talk to our guests.
All right.
Yeah.
Great. Joining us is Sachin Bhatt.
Yay! TinselTown Talkies. Talk to you in a minute.
A home is the biggest investment in most people's lives. Buying or selling should be a positive experience.
Whether you want to be a wealthy real estate investor or just trying to find a place to call home, at AJR & Associates, we focus on the client's needs.
We understand the market better than most. Let us bring the value to you and make the right choice.
AJR & Associates, making your dream house a reality. Call us today for a free consultation at 562-882-1976. Or you can log on to www.agrrealtors.com.
With a track record of great results, bringing knowledge, wisdom, and expertise to you. Hablamos español.
Are you watching the game at home? Why? Come watch it at Mambo Grill, the hottest spot in Downey. You'll have good food, drinks, and a great time at a low price. We have the coldest beer in our sports bar, where you can enjoy the game on any of our huge flat screen TVs. And when your home team wins, you get 25% off anything in Mambo Grill. We're on Downey Avenue, 1 block north of Firestone, or visit us on the web. Mambo Grill, love at first bite.
Looking for a delicious, fresh family meal that's ready when you are and easy on your budget? Welcome to Piara Pizza. We make our pizzas with handmade dough, 100% real cheese, and tomato sauce blended with our own spices. Nothing is ever frozen. We always have large pepperoni and cheese pizzas fresh and waiting for you for only $5. Or choose one of our specialty pizzas. We have veggie, meat lovers, supreme, and Hawaiian. Add an order of our amazing hot wings, cheesy bread, or breadsticks. Our locations are ultra modern, ultra clean, and open 7 days a week. Visit any one of our locations today. Or check us out on the web at www.piarapizza.com. Piara Pizza. Fresh, hot, and ready for you when you come in. Stop in for your Piara Pizza today.
Been in an accident? Then you need your vehicle professionally repaired. That's exactly what you get when you bring your vehicle to Greg's Auto Body Repair. Free quotes within minutes. We will provide everything you need for a hassle-free auto body repair, from an accurate estimate to working with your insurance company. We will get your vehicle to its pre-accident condition as soon as possible. Greg's Auto Body has been serving Los Angeles County and local cities since 1970. Call us at 562-789-1300.
Hello and welcome back to TinselTown Talkies. Happy Thursday. I want to give a shout out to my UCLA Bruins. Our UCLA Bruins were playing the
Yes,
in
we're both
Sweet 16 today.
UCLA alumni.
Yes,
Go
we
Bruins!
are. So let's hope they pull it off today. But welcome back to TinselTown Talkies, Rant Radio Network. We have a guest.
Yes.
You want to give our guest a shout on the phone?
Yes, a wonderful guest. We'd like to welcome Sachin Butt, a wonderful actor, artist here in Los Angeles and Hollywood. Sachin, welcome to TinselTown Talkies. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We are great. Thank you for joining us today.
Great to have you, man.
So, Sachin, oh, I thought.
No, go ahead. Go
Oh.
ahead. It's all you.
So, Sachin, there's so much to talk about with you. You've done some great projects this past year. I should say some great television series. You've got some wonderful commercials under your banner. Let's talk about how easy, how hard it is to book these roles.
It's pretty difficult. I mean, you're going in against, a couple hundred people sometimes, and the callback, there's anywhere between 5 and 30. So it's not the easiest thing, but, you just keep going to them, and hopefully you land a few.
Now, you recently have done Rules of Engagement, How I Met Your Mother,
Two Broke Girls.
Two Broke Girls.
Mhm.
Any favorites among these shows?
I actually love Two Broke Girls.
Why?
What you think?
And
Why?
I just think their humor is, some people find it a little crude, but I think it's hilarious. And just the banter that the two leads have, I don't know, I relate well with it. And that, it was a really fun set to be on, too.
Right.
So.
I have an interesting question. Just going back to your first film that you started in, The Ode, about 6 years ago. You started it with Sakina Jaffrey, and I'm actually getting caught up right now on House of Cards.
Yeah.
Tell me what it was like working with her, and kind of how, if just the working relationship you had with her on that film, and now watching her do so well on House of Cards.
It was a really cool relationship, because that was actually the first film I ever did, and it was actually the first film I ever auditioned for. I was in New York at the time.
Nice.
And and I sent the DVD in, and they flew me to LA for the callback. And when we got on set, she was someone that I could look up to, and she did give me advice as far as even like a little camera work, and just like it's quite a lot to hold a movie on your shoulders for your first time, and she was definitely like a huge part in helping me navigate through that easily.
So what was that? What was the challenges you faced in being a star in your starring role in your first film? I mean, what specifically can you tell us about just the challenges you faced?
Well, the character was pretty dark, and at the same time as likable, very unlikable. He, ran away from his parents from Kenya. His father was abusive to his mother. There was a lot of sexual activity going on. It was dark. There was a lot of dramatic crying in every scene. So it was just a lot of heaviness throughout the film, and it was a lot of tough subjects to deal with.
Okay.
You know, I have to bring up, Sachin, what I find very intriguing and interesting about you as an actor is that you've done theater, you have a theater background, as well as television and film. And if for our audience members here, you must have all heard of Bombay Dreams, which was a huge, huge production. And Sachin actually played Akash, one of the main character in there. You know, what's your experience like in doing theater, and which is your favorite? I mean, are you very fond of theater, or do you prefer the television and film side?
I started in theater, so I have a huge, appreciation for theater. I went to school for opera, and when I was in school, I realized that opera may not be the right fit for me, and I went into musical theater.
I was just going to ask you if you sing too.
Yes, I do. I mean, I majored in voice, so
wow,
that was my main focus. And Bombay Dreams was amazing. It helped me a lot because I was someone, born in the States who kind of like ran away from being Indian, and it was a cool experience to get in touch with, some of our roots. But I will say, theater is much more difficult than TV.
Oh, I'm sure. You get no retakes, right?
No retakes, and the 8 shows a week is pretty gruesome.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a lot, like it's a 2.5-hour show, but 8 times a week is exhausting.
That could take a toll on you.
Yeah, especially on Sunday,
Yeah.
you're doing your matinee and your night ticket, right? 2 shows on one day.
Yeah.
And I did a tour, so we were traveling for a year.
Oh, wow. What an experience, though. What an experience.
Yeah, it was great. It was a really amazing experience.
I have to ask you, since you sing, there's so much to ask you. Is there an artist or any artists that you look up to or admire? Singers?
As singers, I feel like I'm the worst musician for singing because people are like, you must listen to all these different types of music and everything, and I think I'm pretty average in that sense. Let's come back to that question.
Okay, we'll come back. Well, I have to. I'm sorry,
Go ahead,
Pimo. I'm just doing all the talking here.
Go ahead.
What happened to your voice, man?
Nothing happened.
Cat got your tongue?
No.
Just kidding.
Keep going. You're doing fine.
Being that all three of us are South Asian, I think Sachin touched a great point that he went through this time when he was kind of running away from being Desi, the Indian. Sachin, would you say that you're at that point still in your life, or has the Desiness kind of grown on you and you're embracing that now?
No, I definitely think I'm embracing it now. I mean, I'm in school for Ayurveda.
Oh.
What does that say? So
great. We'll come to you for some medication.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm working on getting my master's in Ayurveda. So I've definitely touched in my inner Indian for sure.
Ah. Oh,
Well, are you speaking of singing? What are the prospects of you being on The Voice or Glee or any of those other singing shows?
You know what? I have a funny story about Glee because right when I moved here, it was during the writer strike, and it was a hard time. Like, it was the worst time to move to LA. And I had an audition for Glee, and it went amazingly. And I got a call back, and then I got a second call back, and I went to kind of not testing, but all 20 producers were in the room. So it was pretty much like the end. And it was this really nerdy Indian kid.
Of course.
And I was, playing a 16-year-old, which let's just say wasn't 16, but they were somewhat buying it. But they ended up changing that role to the gay character. During that process. So, if it stayed Indian, I had a good chance of being on Glee.
Oh, so they nixed out the whole. They could have still kept you on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, basically, all the lines were still the same, but they changed it to that character.
Wow.
And so they didn't want an Indian gay guy. Was that the bottom
he wasn't
line?
Gay. He
Yeah,
wasn't gay.
the character really wasn't written as gay. They changed it to a gay person after the audition.
Yeah. And I think because I had an Indian principal, they heard that ethnicity.
Wow.
So.
Whatever. But I mean, I looking at your pictures, it's interesting because I think you can pass for Latino.
Yeah. Well, a lot of us can, right? I mean, yeah.
No, but I mean, he doesn't have the typical Indian look. Like some actors you look at that are of South Asian descent, and you're
you-
like,
you-
okay, this person
this
is
is
Indian.
definitely Indian,
I
yeah.
cannot cast. I can only cast them as an
Yeah.
Indian. With Sachin's pictures, there's definitely versatility
Yeah,
there.
yeah. He's ethnic neutral.
He's ethnically ambiguous.
There you go.
is
There
the
you
term.
go.
There we go. There we go.
Which is how he actually signs his emails too. I have to mention on the air.
Seriously?
Ethnically ambiguous. Yep.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yep,
That's
yeah.
very.
Yeah.
That's a very good way to send your emails. Nice.
Oh, I think I'm going to start doing that too. Can I copy that, Sachin?
Of course you can.
Okay, great.
At least you got his permission.
So, Sachin, besides your hectic schedule of when you're, acting, taking classes, auditions, all this other stuff, what else can we find you doing?
What else can you find me doing? I love to cook now.
Oh,
I'm big on food, just because when I'm studying too, it's like important about what I put in my body. So I'm making some Gujarati dishes.
Oh, nice.
whoa!
Yeah,
An Indian boy making Gujarati dish? Wow,
I
could-
you have now become the hot wedding commodity.
Yeah, right. I'm a Gujarati guy who makes Gujarati dishes, and no one ever says
Really?
anything to me.
Oh, we got to put both of your bios up for marriage now. All the girls will be after you.
Oh God. What did we walk into?
Well, I know
did make
Sachin has a
last night.
following.
What'd
you make?
I made khichdi last night.
Really?
Oh man, I should
Yeah.
have came over.
Yeah, it was good. I have to admit.
I have to say that's very impressive because Indian food is not the
It's not
easiest
easy to
thing to
make,
make.
no. Actually, I disagree. I think it's time consuming. It's not an easy thing.
Yeah, it's
just
very time consuming. How do you find time to make Indian food, Sachin?
Well, I mean, that dish takes about 45 to an hour. So it's not crazy.
It's doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a long time for me in the kitchen. That's asking for too much.
You actually have to love cooking, otherwise, yes.
You're absolutely right. And what else is on the plate for you right now? Anything else slated in the works?
Yeah, actually, well, I just did an episode of Growing Up Fisher, the NBC show.
Fun.
And that was actually a really fun comedy to work on. But I'm working on a film, actually, with an actress from House of Cards, Mojan Marno.
Oh, nice.
And it's called The Pink Starries. And basically it's an acid punk Bollywood musical about a gang of women that take vigilante justice against rapists in India.
Oh,
And
nice.
I
That's
play the
gonna be
leader of the
interesting.
rapists.
Wow.
And I'm going to be very, I'm going to do a little selfish little plug here. So my dance company, my husband, the choreographer, Yogan, is actually going to be choreographing for this film and working with Sachin on it. I think it's going to
Nice.
be...
I knew there was a connection here.
Ha! I just think it's going to be really exciting. It's such a different and unique topic.
Yeah.
It is like really exciting to work on something like this because it's basically like a Bollywood Inglourious Bastard.
Right.
Yeah,
That should be
I'm looking.
fun.
That's one of my favorite films of all time. I'm really looking for that.
It's going to be really cool. What's your character?
I play Babu, who is the leader of the gang of men, and kind of runs the group. And
So
You know-
you're playing an evil guy?
I'm playing an evil.
How
Can I
can
tell you
that-
my mom? My mom is really unhappy about it.
How can this innocent, beautiful face be playing an evil
Well,
guy
he
who
is.
runs like a gang?
That's part of being. That's part of being a good actor.
Wait, I got to hear this. So what happened? Your mom's not happy about this role?
Yeah, my mom always wants me to play the nice role. Like, she loved when I was doing Bombay Dreams. Like, she came to every performance when we were in St. Louis.
Aw.
So yeah, this character is not your lovable guy, so she's not too happy about.
Aw, well, I
being a sex offender.
All right, so
It's going to
Sachin,
be
we
a
got
great
15
role.
seconds
We
left.
got 15 seconds. Such a
Quick question.
Yes.
You're from St. Louis. Are you a baseball fan?
Yeah, sure.
Cardinals?
Yeah,
Boo.
sure.
Boo. Okay. I'll take that.
Sachin, before we head out, thank you so much for joining us. Can you give us either your Twitter handle or Facebook where fans can follow you and find out more about some of the work you're doing?
Yes, Such World is my name on Twitter.
And
Spell that for us.
SACH World.
All right. Thank you,
we'll
guys.
find
You
it.
heard it. Follow Such World on Twitter to find out more about what Sachin is up to. Sachin, such a pleasure speaking with you, and we wish you the best, and we'll be looking forward to some of your work.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Talk to you soon,
Thanks.
buddy.
Have a good
All
one.
right. Good night.
All right.
That was Mr. Butt.
Huh?
Mr. Sachin Butt. Thank you for calling in.
All right. Well, we're going to take a short, quick break. You're listening to TinselTown Talkies. We'll be right back after these messages with our next guest.
Peace.
Do we have your attention? When it comes to tequila, two things matter: heart and passion. Never compromising integrity for mass production. Number one Tequila delivers the goods. Taste the heart and passion of Mexico in every bottle. We make it right. We make it fun. Superior Tequila. There's only number one. There's only number one. There's only number one.
What's wrong?
I can't stop craving a cigarette. I just quit. Hey, what are you smoking on?
Oh, this? Best e-juice on the planet. Burst of flavor, of course.
What's that?
Only the best alternative to smoking with a great flavor. It has a burst of flavor in every puff.
Well, does it have nicotine?
It comes in different levels, including 0. They have 20 flavors and more coming. All the products are made in the U.S. Check them out at www.burstoflavor.com or call them at 855-WE-BURST.
Hey, let's burst together.
It's not just flavor, it's an experience. Cigarettes, you've met your match.
Add some crazy flavor to your vape pen. You're looking for something new and exciting in liquid vapor? Go to Crazy Cloud's e-juice. Find them at burstoflavor.com and try any of the new 12 flavors they have available: blueberry, mint, raspberry, chocolate, gummy bear, hemp, watermelon, cola, orange, pina colada, coconut, or Red Bully. Call us today at 855-WE-BURST or visit us at burstoflavor.com and order yours today.
Number one. Number one.
Is that a stutter or as high as you can count?
I was ordering number one.
Everybody's asking for number one.
Great, another fancy bottle.
These guys are true artists. Never compromise integrity. They make tequila
Come
the
on.
old-fashioned way. Never mass-produced.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying have the number one. Anything less is number two. Number one! Number one, tequila.
Welcome back to TinselTown Talkies. I'm Rasha Goel.
Emo.
Oh my gosh, it's been such an exciting show. We had such a wonderful conversation with Sachin Bhatt, and it's so cool to see the different projects people are working on.
Yes, always fun to see us.
Right?
People are doing great things.
They are. They
Yeah.
are.
Mhm.
Well, another person who's been doing some excellent work is Rich Samuels. He is a local Angelino here and is a writer-producer. Shall we welcome him on?
Yes, let's
All
bring him on board.
Rich Samuels. Oops. Rich Samuels.
Hello, Rich.
Hi,
Hi, Rich Samuels. How are you?
I'm great. How are you guys?
We are
doing good.
great. Thank you. Welcome to Tinseltown Talkies.
Thanks for having me.
Oh,
Our
it's our
pleasure.
pleasure. Our
Mhm.
pleasure. Well, so Rich, you are a writer, you're a producer, you're a YouTube vlogger.
Well, occasionally.
Occasionally.
Not for a while, but yeah.
Okay, and a blogger, but you actually fell into the whole YouTube world and really started creating some work there. Talk to us about that and how you think YouTube has become such a huge medium now with people creating their own channels and pages.
Well, it's interesting. It worked in sort of the reverse way that it usually works for people. I mean, I went on YouTube with the idea that it would sort of inspire some of my, my filmmaking, and sort of bring it in a new direction. But what it did for me, and I think it does for a lot of people, is it inspired, the creative energy on YouTube and all the people I got to know on YouTube inspired me back to do something that was my earliest artistic ambition, which was writing and writing a novel. Which is something I always wanted to do, but I never got around to. Went into filmmaking instead. But this is where my heart, had been, since I was 9 years old.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I'm looking at your book that you have, My Life at the Bottom of the Food Chain. Tell us how Alexander kind of came about. Was this based on your own personal experiences? Was there a story you knew about personally? Just kind of how did he evolve into who he is?
Well, that's an interesting story. Well, first of all, the story is about a boy who is scared of middle school beyond any logical, level. It's like when you enter middle school, most of us have a fear which might last a half a day or 20 minutes,
Right.
and he never lets go of that. And he sees danger around every corner. He decides that if a kid looks at him the wrong way, that kid's a bully, and he's got to avoid him for the rest of his school career.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a comedy that it evolved, and going back, the book was based on a screenplay that I wrote about 10 years ago. With technical with technical assistance from my nephew, who was closer to that age at the time, and could correct my perceptions. And it's I wouldn't say it's autobiographical, but I certainly was one of these kids that was concerned about things that weren't there, and you have these little fears. And what I've heard from a lot of other people is that it's sort of a universal. Everyone sees a little bit of themselves in Alexander, the central character.
Right.
So it has a little bit of my experiences, a little bit of people that I've known, and I've taught a lot of filmmaking workshops with kids around that age, and so I've done a lot of observation in that respect. So it's just evolved over the years.
Okay.
Now, you also touch upon, I think, the issue of bullying a little bit in this book, and that seems to be a hot topic anyways around schools and in the media.
Right, and I felt that this was sort of a different twist on it. I mean, there's a million books out there on bullying and kids fighting bullies, but what happens in this story is this kid is driven by fear of being bullied, and in effect, he becomes so judgmental of other people and acts on that on his prejudgment of others that he nearly becomes a bully himself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what the whole crux of the story is.
It's a fun story.
Yeah.
It's definitely a fun story.
And how do you pack so much in 160 pages? That's what I want to know.
The writer challenge.
That's an interesting. You're not the first person who said that. It's interesting. I just try to make it, and I'm, writing something like this. Number one, I'm trying to make it a page turner. I'm trying to keep it. It's got to be interesting. I mean, you can't go into long sort of mental ponderings. So I mean, it's got to keep going. You've got to want to turn the page, and especially if you're it originally was aimed at kids, sort of preteen, early teen. And a lot of kids read that, and I want to make sure that they stay interested. And the odd thing about it is that a lot of adults have enjoyed it as well, which is very gratifying.
Were there pieces looking back? I mean, I've read the book, and I think it's fantastic, and I definitely encourage readers, and we'll give them information at the end of the segment on how to get the book and where they can go. But looking back at it now, Rich, were there still elements, a lot of things that you took out of the book? I mean, was it hard? We're like, oh my God, I got to remove this. It's getting too long. Or that wasn't a challenge for you?
Well, there's always that process of editing. And once I finished what I thought was my final draft, I gave it to my editor and we went back and forth. And there's probably more that it's keeping the action. There were situations that weren't as visual. I may have moved something from a conversation, for example, on a street corner to a conversation, during some other type of action that was more interesting. So there's a lot of moving around to make it interesting and to bring in other characters and to keep it, to keep the interaction fun and one of the best aspects of this thing. One teenager wrote in his review on Goodreads that he felt he got to know these characters. After reading the book, he felt like these characters were his best friends because it was so detailed in character development, which was probably one of the most gratifying reviews I've ever had on the book.
Again, I'm still perplexed. You were able to get so much development in so little space. I give you kudos for that. I envy you for that.
And I got to tell you too, yes, definitely, Rich, because after reading the book, It is so visual. I mean, you see this kid, you see Alexander, and you see these different things happening with him. It's
Mhm.
wonderful. You know, as a filmmaker, as a writer, what would you say, or even in writing scripts, writing books, what is the most challenging thing for you?
Well, it's visualizing. It's when we communicate face to face, we generally, we're not just talking to each other. There's a lot of body language. There's a lot of moving. There's so much that's involved in how we communicate, and particularly when you're a kid, a 13-year-old kid like Alexander isn't going to have a long, heart-to-heart conversation with his best friend. They're going to talk in shorthand, basically, and they're going to communicate through action rather than than having a long, I don't want to say boring, but a long conversation. So it's translating what I want to say into what I want the reader to see.
That's interesting. Now, on that same note, what you said this was originally a screenplay. Is that going to be back on the table? Are you going to adapt this for either a web series or the big screen, or what's the plan on that?
Well, first of all, the book is like miles away from the screenplay. Once I got into there's so much character development and so much, I think, so many improvements in terms of the storyline that it's a totally different thing. I'd have to go back and rewrite the whole thing. But it's right now I'm focusing on the book and writing the sequel to the book, I'm not really looking. There's a decision I had to make in terms of screenplay, but particularly in terms of this book. I could have written the book and sent it out to publishers and waited 2 or 3 years to see if anyone would anoint me and publish the book, or I could get it out, myself on Amazon and on all the other sites, and get direct feedback from readers and develop from there. So I mean, it's what was the question? I mean, it's pretty much
Nice. Yeah, so I got an interesting follow-up now. How would you compare this, or how is this book different from, say, Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Is there any overlap, any differences?
Well, the main difference is in Diary of a Wimpy Kid, there is a great cast of crazy characters that he had, that Greg, the central character in that book, has to interact with. The difference is, in this book, the central character in my book, is Alexander, is a little off balance, and everybody else has to interact with him. His perception of the world is so off kilter that he really doesn't get how to read and how to interact with other people, which I think again is something that a lot of kids feel at some point in their lives.
Oh yeah, we all
so
do that.
it's like a reverse of Wimpy Kid.
Okay.
But it's the same. It's the same in terms of the overlap. It's a lot of the same sort of humor, and hopefully it's something that people can relate to.
Well, if people wanted to, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rich.
Well, go ahead.
I was going to say, for people who will be interested in purchasing the book, where can they find this book?
Well, the good thing is you can find it on any of the online retailers. It's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. It's on, and it's available in paperback. It's available in ebook, whatever your ebook reader is, whichever device you use. You can go into that store and you can find the book. And if you want more information on what the book is all about, I've got a website about the book and about my writing, which is richsamuelsauthor.com.
Okay.
Also,
but the most important thing is you can search for it on any of the sites and find more information.
And the book is called My Life at the Bottom of the Food Chain. By Rich
Right,
Samuels.
My Life at the Bottom of the Food Chain.
Yeah.
And what about Twitter, Rich? You're on Twitter too, right?
Yep, RICKFLIX, Rickflix.
Rickflix. Great. We just got a couple of seconds left here. Anything else that you'd like to share with us before we head out?
That I also have in relation to this book. I've also started to create a series of short stories that I'm also selling on Amazon, featuring this character in more outlandish situations, and those will be over every couple of months. I'll be putting those out as well.
Sounds
You'll
good.
find that also on Amazon.
I've got to add, at some point, I think we're going to have to see Alexander on the big screen.
yeah.
Whether it's web series, whether it's television, whether
I
it's
could already
film,
see it. Yeah,
right?
I could already see
From
it.
your mouth to Hollywood's ears.
That's right.
Yes, exactly.
First, we got to get a lot of people to read it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, that's what we're going to do. So, guys, if you are listening, you can check out the book online. Go to Amazon. Again, it's My Life at the Bottom of the Food Chain, something that we can all relate to. And thank you, Rich Samuels, for joining us today on Tinseltown Talkies.
Yep, appreciate it.
Thanks. It was great. Enjoyed it.
We had a great time. Have a good one.
All right, take care.
All right,
We'll
thank
be
you,
right
Rich,
back
and
after these messages.
We'll talk to you in a minute for sure.
The experts know that for pastry, Baker's Bodega has it all. Exclusive brands like Westco Bankmart, Satin Ice, and Pastry Pride. One-on-one day seminars for cake decorating and gelatin art. So for our service, wide range of ingredients and supplies, and for the low prices, Baker's Bodega has it all. But you don't need to be an expert. Baker's Bodega, 7869 Paramount Boulevard in Pico Rivera. Come, we're waiting for you.
ProTech Carpet Tile and Care provides professional cleaning services for carpet, tile, grout, upholstery, and fine area rugs.
ProTech technicians are professionally trained and certified cleaning and restoration experts.
We specialize in restoring damage caused by heavy soil and odor.
We can remove challenging spots such as coffee, tea, ink, gum, wine, and many more.
We have saved our customers thousands of dollars on new flooring and furniture expenses with our advanced cleaning processes.
Call for a free estimate at 562-447-4300 and visit us on our website, www.myprotectsite.com.
Hey, this is Joe Perez, owner at ProTech. Just reminding you that ProTech Carpet and Tile Care is your professional choice.
Hey, bro, this is a good game. You know what would make it better?
What, bro?
A michelada.
A michelada? What's a michelada?
A michelada is somewhere in the middle of a Mexican Bloody Mary and a Mexican margarita.
Oh, I got you covered, bro.
You got a cup in your pocket?
No, sir. I got my pocket-sized michelada. Mucho macho michelada.
Pocket size?
Pocket size, so you can take it with you anywhere you go.
Where'd you get that at?
At the nearest convenience store, and you can also buy it at muchomachomichelada.com.
You know what will make it better? After we get drunk, if they had a line we could call.
We can call their drunk line. You can leave a message and then log on to the site and listen to your stupidity afterwards.
What's that number?
It's 855-MICHE-69.
What's that number again?
855-MICHE-69.
Awesome. Mucho macho michelada.
The Share Foundation is the health division of the Coy Chiropractic Institute, a 501c3 509A2 public nonprofit organization dedicated to the growth and development of the natural healthcare services, in particular through the chiropractic profession, offering health services at the Share clinics in the greater Los Angeles area. Your donations can help in expanding these facilities across the nation, research programs, and public education, thus offering a solution to the many of the health challenges we face. Your donations are tax-deductible and can be sent through our website at www.sharefoundation.com. That's www.cherfoundation.com by clicking on the donation button. Thank you.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to TinselTown Talkies. That's Rasha to my right, and I'm allegedly named Pimo because I don't have my hat today. So I don't know if I can call.
You named yourself, mister.
I know.
We
But
just
no,
go
I said
by what
alleged-
we just call you what you ask us to call you.
I said allegedly.
Okay. You're getting all journalistic on me now?
Yes. Did we ever reveal my real name on the show ever?
Yeah, because I've accidentally called you Parimal a couple of times.
Wait. You said it. You butchered my name.
Parimal.
Parimal. You gotta say Parimal.
It's the Indian way to say it.
Well, aren't you Indian?
Yes.
So on to something not so funny.
Yes.
I know this is our Bollywood segment, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess there could be some dark humor in this, but we all know in Hollywood that death hoaxes happen.
Right, all the time.
All the time, right? I guess Bollywood's not immune from it either.
Nope, not at all.
So I guess there's this playback singer, Asha Parekh.
She's an actress.
I thought. Oh wait, am I having the wrong?
Asha
person?
Parekh is a huge
No, okay.
actress.
I was thinking of Lata Mangeshkar.
Yes.
It's also part of the same story. But anyways, both the singer and the actor. So we got Asha Parekh, who's the actress, who was rumored to have passed away. And it was a tweet sent out by a couple of journalists.
Yes, and
Talking
one of
about
them,
journalists, right?
right, and one of them was Sanjay Manjrekar, who actually went back on Twitter and apologized. I mean, how humiliating! Because Asha Parekh, for those who don't know, is a huge legend in the Bollywood industry. She was very popular during the '60s, '70s time period. I think even before the '60s, and she. Like, to imagine you're like reading all this news that there was a rumor of her death. I don't think she was too happy about that.
Well, who would be happy about being rumored to be dead?
But apparently this journalist, he got that information from another tweet, I think.
Well, did he get from the tweet or just from a news source
Or
in general?
from a news source, which was wrong.
But yeah, it's still...
So he did send out a tweet apologizing.
It just... and hey, look, I don't want to sit here and be judgmental because sometimes...
We all work off of sources.
We all work off of sources, and every once in a while, a source is wrong. It happens.
It's kind of funny. Not really, but it's kind of
Like
funny.
I said, there's sort of dark humor in this whole thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Same thing with like playback singer, one of Bollywood's biggest, again, legendary singers, Lata Mangeshkar. It was apparently tweeted that she had suffered from a heart attack.
Yeah,
and so
she's still around.
And the great thing is this woman, who's probably in her 70s now or 80s?
Lata's probably in her 80s by
Okay,
now, yeah.
so she actually got on Twitter and tweeted that she was doing okay.
I'm still
and
alive and
she was
kicking.
fine and healthy. Exactly. That's pretty tight.
Yeah.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, so, hey, you know what? Asha and Lata, we're glad you're still here with us. Don't run away anytime
Yes.
soon. Question for you, if you could compare Asha to an actress here in the United States, who would that be?
Asha Parekh?
Mm-hmm.
Parekh?
Who would be like the equivalent of her in the United States?
Oh, wow. Would it be fair to say Meryl Streep?
How about Faye Dunaway, maybe?
Faye Dunaway, yeah.
I don't know.
Sigourney Weaver? No, no.
Well, Sigourney and Faye are kind of on the same level, actually.
Okay.
So I think Sigourney or Faye would kind of be. She actually resembles. Actually, there's she's right there, but
That's in her younger
yes.
heydays. What a gorgeous
I could see
picture of her.
Yeah, I could see her being kind of a Faye Dunaway.
Faye Dunaway?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's what
could see
first.
that.
That's what first goes to my mind.
She was so beautiful.
Yeah.
Very talented actress.
Yeah. So speaking, I don't know if I want to call these. Well, one person I wouldn't call talented. I'm not a big fan of Katrina, but
Oh my God, no, that makes two of us. Da-ding.
we actually agree on this.
Yes,
Wow.
we actually agree on something. So, despite all these rumors, and they're denying this. I mean, they're always
Who's they?
denying Katrina and Ranbir that they're together. But apparently, there's news that they are going to be tying the knot and settling down in 2015. Now, Ranbir Kapoor is known as like one of the biggest playboys of Bollywood. I mean, he's like this heartthrob. He's the son of two big, again, legendary actors, Rishi Kapoor and Neetu Singh, who were a huge Bollywood couple. I'm wondering how they're taking this. And I think I read somewhere that Katrina actually had to give him an ultimatum that you're either proposing or this is it.
Wow.
And you know, Katrina is the ex of Salman Khan.
Yeah.
I don't know. This whole thing plays out very weirdly
It
to
is
me.
very weird. Can I go on a tangent here with I'm still not convinced Katrina's even Indian.
There's so many different mixed stories. I mean, she has a problem speaking Hindi. You know, she had to learn.
I don't.
the
Yeah,
language.
from what I understand, she never knew Hindi from the beginning. She never knew it, and she just parrots the lines in films. She doesn't even know what she's saying.
Really?
That's what I've been told. She just remember, okay, blah 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 blah. She says it. She reads it. She
Is
says
she
it.
mixed, you think? So you think she has no Indian in her?
From what I've actually had people tell me that she has zero Indian blood in her.
Wow. And
That
she's done so
she
well.
just
She's like-
happens to have Indian features, so she could pass.
Well, she's one of the top sellers in the industry.
Yeah, and that basically the rumor is, and this is a rumor, that her whole thing is just a manufactured thing, just because this is how the proper Indian woman should look like.
Because she's lighter skinned.
She's like, exactly, right? Going back to the Lupita argument, right?
Well,
So that's my
I
little
don't know. Do you think
tangent.
this is gonna last? Or is this a
No, it's not gonna last. What kind of question is that? Bollywood's no different from Hollywood when it comes to relationships. They never last. 2015 they get married. 2017 they're done. That's the way I look at it.
Well, that's some Bollywood wedding bells right there.
Yeah,
Let's see what happens. We'll wait
yeah.
till 2015 and see if it. You're right. It'll be over before it starts.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get back to the States real quick. There's a film festival coming up in
Yes.
2 weeks
The Indian Film Festival of Los Angeles.
over at the ArcLight in Hollywood.
And
Are you going to be going?
I might be. I've been invited to some of the events. So.
Yeah, I might swing by. It's my first year actually not going as
An
official-
employee?
an employee or an
Or
official
working it?
Yeah, there's any official capacity. So I'm actually looking forward to actually enjoying the festival for
It's
the
a
first
great
time.
festival. I mean, there's some great artists who come out, and
Yeah.
I think it's really grown over the past year or so.
It has.
So check it out,
It
IFLA.
has.
It's called IFLA.
I should wear a turban instead of a hat.
IFFLA. Oh, I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
By the way, I'd love to see that. Also something that's more like I'd say Bollywood / America.
Uh-huh.
NBA Sacramento Kings.
Yes. And of course, I'm a basketball nut, so I should know about this, right?
Yes.
Anyways, I don't know how many people know this, but the Sacramento Kings are actually owned by an Indian guy.
Woohoo!
And this has not been the first time it's happened in the NBA, but several the Golden State Warriors have done this. The Clippers have done
Yes.
this.
Yes,
but-
my team performed at the Clippers.
Oh yeah,
at
there you
Staples
go.
Center.
There
Yep,
you go.
at the
Right.
Clippers game.
So when the Los Angeles Lakers travel to Sacramento on April 2nd, at the halftime of that game, the Sacramento Kings will be hosting a Bollywood night.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, so
That'd be cool. I'm just bummed. I kind of wish it was in LA with the Lakers because I would have liked to have my dance company be.
The Lakers will never
performing
do
out
it.
there.
The Lakers will
no,
never
I
do it.
know.
They're just
they're too caught up in their own.
Exactly. It'll
shenanigans.
never happen with Lakers. Actually, it's funny. I've actually had a few of my friends ask me that. Like, how come Lakers won't do this? They're stealing.
The way they work, yeah.
They have their own game plan at halftime.
You're right.
That's just their class or their arrogance.
But I mean, I think it's great for the Sacramento Kings owner to bring something
Yeah,
like that
yeah,
to the
it's pretty
plate.
cool.
He's
I mean,
exposing
and
people to the
especially-
culture. God, I hope people who are dancing there really represent us well.
Yeah.
Because that's the funny thing. You get some I'm sorry, not to be mean, but you get some college kids. They put up some shenanigans. You're like, oh, that's Bollywood.
And
We
you know what?
just
And
do the light bulb.
And non-Indians will think that's exactly what Bollywood is. I'm like,
Exactly,
not
and
really.
it's misrepresented. So
Yeah. What I want to know is, are they gonna have samosas in the concession stands?
I know, and chai.
And chai. I mean,
that would be tight.
see,
my
I would
friend.
actually go to the game if that was the case.
See that we should, we should write the owner a letter.
We should
and
write him and
recommend
say,
that.
hey, have some
have some samosa and
chat
chai.
or something.
That's
you know?
gonna pull in
Yeah.
a whole new crowd.
Yes, exactly. I did want to mention one more thing,
Yes.
and this is non-Bollywood related, but it's related to a country that watches Bollywood movies. Did you see this headline in the Hollywood Reporter?
Oh my goodness, I don't understand this.
So the headline reads, Hollywood is already exploring a Malaysia Airlines movie. We don't even know what really happened yet.
We don't even know what's happened. Those poor families are still grieving, and Hollywood's thinking about making a movie.
Hollywood is a business. I guess they could take out the humanity factor.
I just think that
but-
really sucks.
Yeah.
That's just wrong.
One producer says, I guarantee there are 50 people working on 50 different projects right now. Wow.
Wow. On this topic?
On this topic, yeah.
But see, that's what's interesting, Pimo. Like you just said, we don't even know what went down. They're still looking for stuff.
Did you hear the theory that this might have been a zombie flight, the final 2 or 3 hours? Do you know what that means? Zombie flight? That basically it went on autopilot, everybody was dead before the plane crashed?
Oh, really?
That there was a theory going on that the final 3 hours of the flight, that everybody was dead. But it was an autopilot, so the plane was flying.
Just glided in.
It was just flying with everybody dead on the flight. So it's
And how'd they die?
that's the theory. Never went that far. Just a bunch just ran out of gas and crashed. That's what the theory. There's one theory out there that discusses that.
They're still trying to find pieces.
They're still trying to find out what the plane exactly is.
Yeah, I don't think they've even really right. They just keep saying that there's reported debris, but nobody has found concrete debris from this flight.
I get it makes for a good story, but it doesn't hurt to wait a little bit.
It's just sad. You know, I can't even imagine. And you know what sucks about this whole thing? It was a 6-hour flight. How can you, I mean, would you even imagine that this could happen?
No. Well, no one could ever imagine this happening. It's just so way far out there.
It's really confusing.
You know,
really confusing.
yeah. So, anyways, we're down to the final 2 minutes of our show.
Yes, I cannot believe this is the final episode. I mean, it has been Such an amazing show. We've had some great guests
been
on here
fun,
from
actually.
some top
It's been
Bollywood
fun.
celebrities,
Mhm.
to some great Hollywood celebrities
Yeah.
and writers and whatnot. It's been a good show.
What's been the best part of it?
Me being on air.
Oh, you're close. That's a second place answer.
What was the first place answer?
Working with me.
you. I knew you were waiting for that. Well, you're bailing.
Well,
so
I got a political career to worry about now. I'm going from entertainment to politics.
But you know what? We are wrapping up. I think we have to just take a minute and really just thank all of our audience members and everyone who support us, but most importantly for the staff here
Yes.
at Rant Radio, especially Arvin, Alan, and JR, who do all the wonderful behind the scenes. When you see everything visually, they're running
There's
the technical.
There's a lot that goes into this on multiple fronts. Not just
Yes.
the staff has been amazing to what they do, but I think that's one thing I want to finish off is anybody that wants to do what we're doing, and there are a lot of people that want to do this. It's not as easy as let's show up and put up microphones in our face and start chatting.
Right. It's a
As
lot
you and
of
I
work, a lot
know,
of
even
people.
even before when we come in here,
There's
we
a lot
go
of
through a
work.
lot of what to discuss, how to present it, how to banter about it, and then being on point for a whole hour in here.
And to run the show
And,
smoothly.
yeah, it's not easy.
Nope.
It's a lot of work.
And you got to put up with your co-host. I mean,
Right, yeah.
that just takes drugs before I get in here.
I know, right? I mean, I give you 1,000% credit for dealing with me. I'm not exactly the easiest guy to deal with. And I
No,
admit
you're
that.
not.
You know, I'm not. I'm an ass, and I'm not afraid of saying that.
No, but we'd like to thank everybody, especially the Rant Radio Network team, because for
Mhm.
giving us this platform.
And thank you to everyone who tuned in to watch us.
Yes.
That was just to have an audience. So thank you. I'm looking in the eye, everybody.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate
And
it.
this
Yeah.
is not the end. This is a beginning. You can follow us still. I'm
Yes.
at Rasha Goel on Twitter.
I'm at Primal Rohit,
And
not Pimo.
yes, check me out on Facebook because
Yeah.
I've got some other developments coming up and would love for you
We'll
guys
still
to
be
follow our new
around.
shows.
We're not done.
Yeah.
We're on to bigger and better things. We're not done yet.
So, but thank you. And this has been a fantastic episode of Tinseltown Talkies.
Oh, and I want to say thank you.
I was going to say thank you, Pimo. It's been so
I gotta
great
shake your hand.
hosting this show with you.
You know,
you
were
can't
the
see us, we're shaking hands.
And you were the one who brought this.
Yes.
So this is
Aw.
partly your brain, well, most of your brainchild. So I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for
Thank
you.
you,
So
Pimo. It was
thank
a
you for
pleasure
that.
to bring you on and have somebody to banter with.
I hope I was fun, at least a little bit. At least a little bit.
It's a lot of fun. Thank you all for joining us. We hope you enjoyed our episode of Tinseltown Talkies. Sending you all love from the Rant Radio Network.
a tip into my false hat today. Thank you. Talk to you soon, guys. Hopefully talk to you soon.
Yes.
All right. Be good.